friends, we take up the discussion on the dramatic mode to a slightly different level after explaining the points that were made previously, and drama was explained by me in the discussion as a social act, as an act where privacy did not have much role to play. And first I explain further the social aspect of drama, and then I'll take up the other points regarding the dramatic mode. So the same discussion, the same argument by Salinger, which I used earlier, this is further presented. Drama was a communal art, community art, admitting personal virtuosity, a tradition of entertainment in the form of festival or pageantry. Communal celebration of communal events accounts for many prominent features of Elizabethan plays. Why I talk at length about the Elizabethan writing, and particularly Shakespeare, is that is the first time that England has has compelled this kind of writing emerge on the literary horizon. In the 16th century, there was some kind of poetry. There wasn't much poetry either. In the 14th and 13th centuries, there was still less of literature, because this activity was at that time performed by, I don't have to go to history for this, by the religious institution, by the church, by preachers, etc. And preachers, are not literary mostly. They are educative mostly. They are moral, preceptors. But in the late 16th century, public comes into its own, and they want entertainment, and for that entertainment they go to theater, and there they want to watch the plays, and that's why the dramatic mode takes a particular shape in the late 16th century, and the word general, the word social, is further explained in terms of communal art. Communal art means people sit together, they discuss at home also, and they enjoy it together. Togetherness, mutuality, group activity, that is what drama is. So the dramatic mode is a mode that keeps the people together, that gets the people together, that makes them talk, that doesn't bother about the individual themes, even though some individuals are given a chance to say more than others. And that there are heroes and heroines, there are male protagonists and female protagonists on the stage, around which the activity of the play revolves. That is all right, but it is the general activity that is supposed to revolve around one person, or what is called personal virtuosity, that is there also in drama and outside the drama in the form of the writer. But then the character of presentation is always communal, and communal here is not in the present sense, but in the sense that it's a community activity. It's a group of people. They forget for some time, they forget for 3 hours of dramatic performance that they are this or that they are servants or masters, because even though physically they sit at different places in the theater, but they are watching all the time, forgetting about their physical sitting. They are actually watching an action on the stage, and that stage unites them. That state makes them conscious about the pressures of the community, and that's why this art is called communal art, because it talks about issues which are general issues, both king and queen, both poor people and rich people, the philosophers, the writers, the merchants, the peasants, the soldiers, all of them in their off time they come and watch the play, and they watch it together, the same thing. So that's a communal art. The first thing is a tradition of entertainment in the form of festival or pageantry. These are the other words, because festivals or pageantry are actually activities which get the people together and make them enjoy. So when you are just being part of a pageant, of a procession, and actors are there on the carts, and they are presenting things to the audience as the cart is moving, as the carriage is moving, then that is called pageantry, as if you are watching something alive on the stage. So that kind of festival or pageantry, that is there as the crux of the dramatic mode. Then it is explained further, communal celebration of communal events. The word communal is coming again and again in order to stress the character of drama as something which is commonly shared. So when it is commonly shared, then all parts of the community, all sections of the community take equal interest in it from their own angles, of course, and that the event also is done at the social level. It's not done at the individual level. People, come together get together at one place. They have come from other places. London was such a place at that point of time, and interestingly, London was visited, of course, by Englishmen from the hinterland, from the villages. But London also was visited by traders and merchants from other countries, from the adjoining countries. So it was that kind of an international place. So that communal part actually is that drama gets people together. Drama makes them sit together. Drama makes them feel and join together in terms of their interests. So that's why the word communal is being used again and again. And lastly, that the themes, that the subjects, that the concerns, that the questions, those questions touch everybody. They affect everybody, and in that case, they are also communal events, communal questions. So accounts for, and this actually describes many prominent features of Elizabethan plays. So these are the features. So actually these features are the part of the mode which is dramatic in nature, that drama is going to be appealing to, as a mode, appealing to a community. It will refer again and again to pageantry and to the festivals. It will talk about celebration. Of course, in the case of Shakespeare, it will talk about the failure of celebration, because when there are tragedies to be performed, then Shakespeare is raising general questions, communal questions, where the community is feeling threatened by the old world, or some people think that it's being threatened by the new world. So whatever the case, Shakespeare is able to be celebratory as well as tragic, and this kind of and both things are characteristics of social life, of general life. Therefore, Elizabethan plays give us a fairly good idea of what the dramatic mode is, and this dramatic mode is presented in this manner by this particular argument that Salinger presents in his essay, from which I have taken these texts. Then I take another idea, and that idea is also about the dramatic mode, and this idea is slightly short, but let's consider it from the point of view of the argument, from the point of view of the words that are used in order to form the argument. Of all literary forms, says Collins, the drama is the most dependent upon and sensitive to its immediate audience. Would you agree? In the first thing, what is being said? What is being said is that the most important thing for drama is the immediate audience. Immediate means people who are sitting in the theatre hall, in the theatre. They are watching the play. And the actors who are enacting roles of characters on the stage, they are conscious all the time about the response of the audience. So the audience is to be the most important, the audience is to be the master. The audience is supposed to be the guiding principle, because the audience comes to the theatre to watch entertainment, to watch certain feelings and emotions, to enjoy. And the audience has to pay money from their pocket. They first collect the money. When they start from home, they must have sufficient money to buy the ticket. After they have bought the ticket, and maybe some plays are so popular that tickets are not easily available, so they have to plan also particular days on which they can watch a play. And once they are there in the hall, then they just are waiting eagerly to see action on the stage done by the actors in the context of characters. So actors are all the time conscious that somebody is watching them and watching them in front, and sometimes there are clapping, sometimes there is a furor, there can be criticism also. So and the characters and the actors enjoy this, and actors also sometimes feel threatened by the vivacity, by the expectations, by the enthusiasm that they have generated among the audience. All these things, they are afraid also that something might go out of control. But then the point that is made is that all literary forms except drama fail in this particular respect, that audience is important for them. For the novel, the individual reader is important. For the poetry, the group may be important, but the person also may be important. But when it comes to drama, the immediate audience, you can write a play, you can write a novel that can be read by somebody 100 years later, or by somebody who is not in the same city but in another city, or maybe not in the same country. It's in some other country. So that kind of audience is one. But this audience is there in front of the drama, and therefore that gives us a good idea about the importance and the immediacy of the dramatic mode. Dramatic mode means that there is an audience all the time putting pressure on you to say things in such a manner that the audience is entertained. So would you agree with this, that drama that way has audience as its most important component, dramatic activity, and dramatic mode is possible only when there is an audience. If the audience is not there, and sometimes the text is available of drama, but then the moment the text is taken in hand by an individual reader, the visualization of the words, of the speeches, of the dialogues in the play will straight away create a world in the mind of the individual reader also. That world is of other people, and that world is the audience. So let me repeat, of all literary forms, the drama is the most dependent upon and sensitive to its immediate audience. So that is to be kept in mind, and this is not the case with other forms, so that's why it is called the dramatic mode. Speaker and chorus in Greek tragedy are of the same fundamental essence. They are completely homogeneous with one another and can therefore fulfill completely separate functions without destroying the structure of the work. So let me tell you that the earliest forms of drama in world literature, they were there in Greek times. That was pre-Christ, that was 4 centuries, 5 centuries before the Christian calendar begins, and Greek plays were at that time the beginnings of literary voice in the world. Very, very few places in the world would have the kind of plays that were written by people, by Greek writers at that point of time. And let's see how drama as a mode appealed to the Greek audience in the early phases of history. So a speaker here is the actor, the hero, the protagonist, and the chorus. What is chorus? Chorus is very important for the Greek play. These days, the chorus is not used. The chorus is in the audience. There might be a group in the audience which is much more alert than others, and they agree with what is being said on the stage. But in Greek, the chorus, the group of people, maybe 10 people or 20 people, they would just be on the stage, and they will watch the play the same way as you and I among the audience might watch. And sometimes this chorus will also tell things in such a manner that the speaker is happy or unhappy. So Greek plays had the speaker as the actor, the main actor, along with 1 or 2 actors or 3 actors, whatever the case. The number of actors was not important. But then the Greek drama was characterized by the presence of the speaker and the chorus on the stage. And will they differ with each other? Will they agree with each other? Will they go their own different ways? Will they create some kind of ruckus on the stage? All this was important. And then the writer is also making us conscious that they are talking about society, the Greek society of the time, and it's not a society of our kind. It's a society of a different kind. They have their tribes, they have their gods, and sometimes the effect of gods can be perceived on human behavior in the Greek times. So people see their own gods, sometimes talking from above, sometimes in human form, and that is guiding the characters on the stage. They appear on the stage also. So that was a different kind of a play, different kind of a drama, different kind of a dramatic mode, and that mode was all the time talking about society. In the Elizabethan period, we talked about the general, the communal, but in the case of Greek, it is more than the communal. It is the whole humanity, in fact. So when this humanity is being discussed in a play, what is the relationship between the speaker and the chorus? In Greek tragedy particularly, because it's not comic, and people are not enjoying. People are, in fact, being one with, being a part of the common suffering, the general suffering that is shown on the stage. And Greek society had its own problems. It was a very difficult world to live in. People saw death all the time. People saw wrong policies of the upper classes all the time. People saw the upper classes also fighting among themselves, and the people watching, the ordinary people watching their activities, without any involvement at the physical level, but then just seeing them there and feeling sad. All those things were there. So how does the speaker behave in the Greek society under the dramatic mode? That is the question. And my answer is that the speaker is a carrier of the general emotion of the audience. And when the speaker speaks, then the audience nod in agreement. What about the chorus? The chorus sometimes nods, sometimes does not. Sometimes the chorus expands the meaning of the speaker, and sometimes it also might raise questions. So when it expands the meaning, people are happy. That's the chorus, the group of people, they are making, they are explaining the speaker's role to us. Sometimes the chorus complains. Then the people also like the complaint made by the chorus, because those complaints actually are their complaints. So chorus becomes representative of the masses, and the speaker becomes representative of that person who has caused a certain event to happen. So speaker and chorus, they play their role, and it is dramatic mode in the sense that they are not the same. They are talking about the same thing. They are talking about the same drama, but then they are saying two different things, and that thing sometimes agrees, sometimes disagrees. That is what drama is. So dramatic mode is that mode where you shift your loyalties, you shift your agreement and disagreement from time to time. And first from speaker, you move to chorus, then from chorus you move back to speaker, and in the meantime the Greek tragic sense is being conveyed to you indirectly, and then all of us, if we are a part of the Greek audience, all of us see that something is wrong with humanity and with life in general, and that fundamental essence, which is a theme of literature, that fundamental essence is conveyed to us with the help of the speaker, the chorus, and the words that they speak. So they are completely homogeneous, together and integrated. They all agree. They are all united. Even when they fall out, even when they differ with one another, one can say that the question that they differ under, that question is a common question. So speaker gives one idea, the chorus gives another idea, and then those two ideas gel. Then those two ideas combine, because after all, homogeneity, unitedness, unity, that is what is needed with one another. So they attach with one another and can therefore fulfill completely separate functions, because they are together. The society has different kinds of functions, so the functions are distributed, but those functions relate to each other and they form a larger unity, which means that a kind of essence, fundamental essence, is being created on the stage, and that is what the Greek drama is. Do you understand this? Do you follow this? Let me simplify it by saying that when different roles are being played on the stage, then we know that these differences relate to the same society. So they are there in society, and those differences don't rip the society apart. They actually unite the society through difference. So that way, dramatic mode has this particular importance to observe, and that importance is that it presents a point of view on the stage. So there is a fight on the stage, there is a difference on the stage, there is a discussion on the stage, and that difference actually is the difference that is existing in the lives of the audience. So that the person in the hall and the person on the stage, they are united by the social action, by the social theme that is there, and that creates homogeneity. So the dramatic mode then actually expresses homogeneity, harmony, togetherness, and drama does it in a specific manner. The epic will just sing on and tell the heroic tales, and there no kind of discussion is generally present. But when it comes to drama from epic is poetry sung on the stage, and it's about the great actions of humanity. That's what epics are in the Greek sense of the word. But then when there are dramas, then there are commentators. In epics there are no commentators. There is the poet only. He's singing, or his group is singing. But in the drama there is the speaker, there is the chorus, and they differ. They have different things. The same kind of a thing that is there in society itself. So from epic also drama differs, and Greek tragedies being particularly talked, which means that some serious issues are involved in the writing of drama and presentation of drama, and therefore the final word is that even when things are destroying each other, even when things are pressing upon each other, even when there are pressures on people of the circumstance, in all cases, finally, everybody is talking about a possible unity, a possible homogeneity on the stage, and no other form of literature, no other mode of literature can do it as well as the dramatic mode. So dramatic mode is that important, and let me tell you in passing that drama, like poetry, is as old as the hills. It is there before one is born, it will remain there after one's death, and it will cross not just centuries, decades and centuries, it will cross millennia. So you still like to read Greek plays, you still like to watch Greek plays on the stage, because they are talking about that essence which is fundamental, that essence which human beings struggle for achieving, and therefore drama has wide, broad, lines to cover a very complex scene that society undergoes and creates for itself, and therefore that becomes very meaningful in the context of literature. All the lyricism of the situation that is being presented on the stage in the Greek, that is the next point, or the way the point is being explained, of destiny can be accumulated in the chorus, leaving to the players the all-expressive words and all-embracing gesture of the tragic dialectic laid bare, and yet they will be separated from one another by anything other than gentle transitions. This is the point that I wanted to make, because I am discussing the dramatic mode or the dramatic form, and one of the 20th century major 20th century critics is Lukács with us, and he says in the theory of the novel, and he compares and contrasts the novel from drama, and he talked about the Greek Greek dramatic mode to say that and the words that he's using already, those words have been used by me in the discussion, lyricism for instance, and the new word here is destiny. What does destiny mean? Destiny doesn't mean just the bad luck or the good luck or whatever. Destiny means that there is a circumstance outside us, and that circumstance is compelling us, and compelling us in a certain manner, and it creates a feeling of destiny. So destiny is a feeling of the pressures, and when you are generally pessimistic, then you take destiny as something that is all powerful. But it may not be all powerful, because we created it. through circumstances in which we participated, we created certain difficulties, and those difficulties became so insurmountable, so difficult to cross, so difficult to resolve, that we started saying it's impossible to change the circumstance, and then we said, this is our destiny, let us accept it. So destiny is a double-edged word. It's a word that tells that there is circumstance, and circumstance is made by human beings. And the second the idea is that it is made by human beings or not is not clear, but definitely we can't overcome it, and it's going to crush us. And therefore, it was made to crush us. By whom? I'm using the passive voice. Then, well, the divine power can be always called in to do its role and say, divinity, in a way, made our destiny and is now imposing it on us. So just see that the same word, destiny, if taken as circumstance, has one meaning. If taken as the impossibility of resolution, it becomes a different word with a different meaning. So these can be accumulated in the chorus. So chorus text talks both of the lyricism as well as destiny, leaving to the players the all-expressive words. Chorus generally doesn't speak. Only occasionally it might speak, it might sing a song, but then the words are spoken by the players, and all-embracing gesture of the tragic dialectic laid bare. So the expression tragic dialectic is not expressible directly. So it is laid bare, it is made clear through words, but then words go in one direction and the feeling remains there on the stage, on the faces of the audience, and that's how things work in the Greek drama. And yet they will be separated from one another by anything other than gentle transitions. So gentle transitions work. Some changes will occur here and there, and those changes will remain there for some time, but finally what is going to happen is that homogeneity will be expressed in certain ways. Let me now conclude the discussion by saying that there are other words which I would like to use, and they can be used later, and the words are, for instance, dialogue. Dialogue I have not used. I've used words only. I've used language. I've used communal activity and all those things, but I have not used the word dialogue. Why have I not used the word dialogue when dialogue is the main thing in the dramatic mode? My answer is that dialogue actually is an idea, an idea carrying a cluster of words, and that these things clash with one another and they differ with one another, and that there is a word you might have heard about dialogic. So we will take that up later at some point of time. But then in today's lecture we have tried to make a differentiation between the dramatic mode and the other literary modes that work, and the question is not of otherness, the question is of the distinctness, the concrete nature of the dramatic mode and its relevance as well as importance in literary representation, literary expression. I hope you have got the first lecture in its theoretical as well as practical perspective, and I'm sure that will lead to further discussions and more elucidations in the discussions in the lectures that follow. Thank you.